Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to stay here today as a Hungarian member of the European Parliament, the European Union's highest democratic body. I am proud to stay here today as a member of the European Parliament's delegation for relations with Israel. And I am proud to stay here as the Vice President of a center-left oppositional party in Hungary, the Democratic Coalition. I am here to express my support, my friendship, and my love to Israel. I came this afternoon alone, but I am not alone. There are many friends of Israel from across the political spectrum in the European Parliament. People who understand that support for Israel is not only a political issue. It is not a left or right issue. It is our moral responsibility. Some of my colleagues on the left side of the Parliament do not share this understanding, however. They are blinded by old-fashioned leftist taboos and stereotypes. They have rather one-sided views born on prejudice, of insufficient knowledge and objectivity, and these are only fueled by uninformed passions and distortions of media. We see the same, and in fact worse, here at the United Nations Human Rights Council, and this is deeply, deeply disappointing. Israel is systematically singled out for criticism. Israel is the only country with its own agenda eaten, and more resolution against it than the resolution against some of the worst human rights abusers altogether. And this is not just, and this is not fair. Today, especially, we see the biased report of the Commission of Inquiry into Israel's intervention at the Gaza border against Hamas-backed protesters earlier this year. I say to you today what I said in the European Parliament when the debate on the situation in the Gaza Strip came up for discussion. Hamas, which the European Union rightly deems a terrorist organization, encouraged protesters to break through the border fence and to carry weapons, including homemade explosive devices. Hamas sent women and children near to the border fence and didn't allow Israeli aid transport in Gaza on 11th May and 16th of May last year. And this is white fever. Hamas didn't do anything to keep the demonstrations peaceful, but rather agitated for violence. Hamas is a political organization of hate and had nothing to do with freedom fight. And we all know what consequences political hatred can have. So, to place responsibility on Israel's shoulders alone is more than an error. It is a serious distortion of reality. As all states, Israel has the right to defend its borders. The responsibility of Hamas for the death of Palestinian civilians is therefore undeniable. To fail to understand this, to fail to understand the complexity of the situation on the ground, is politically dishonest and ethically compromising. Hamas has proven that it is unable and unwilling to work towards peaceful life in Gaza. Hamas is not interested in peace, accords, or governing. They are interested only in hate-mongering. This is highly in contrast with Israel, a real, lively, and dynamic democracy. As a center-left politician, it worries me sometimes that many right-wing populists across the world today lay claim to the protection of the Jewish state. I have seen this up close in my own country of Hungary, where good relations with Israel are used to shield how the government utilizes anti-Semitism for its political purposes, the systematic rewriting the history of Holocaust in Hungary, and the hate speech of state propaganda. Anti-Semitism is the shame and the poison of modern civilization, and it does not matter if it is left or right-wing anti-Semitism. We have to stand against it, just as we have to stand with the State of Israel, and only liberal criticism towards it where we would find fault with any other state. This is why it is a moral imperative for us all to not allow for Israel to be a partisan issue, to reaffirm our commitment to the protection of the Jewish state, and to fight for constructive solutions for lasting peace. That's why I stand together with you to say enough is enough, and the anti-Israel bias. And that's why I say once more, enough is enough. Thank you for having me.